Introducing Hot Shot Jackpot, Paddy Power's new free-to-enter competition, available to all customers. Every Premier League week, simply pick 8 anytime goal scorers from 8 selected matches, and you could win £250,000 or more. Excludes in-shop bets. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Bruce Millington, Mark Langdon, Ian Wilkerson, and from Paddy Power, Sean O'Sullivan are here to look at not one, not two, but 3 live televised Sunday Premier League games. Starting at 12 o'clock, it's the Orns, Watford against Manchester United. Sean O'Sullivan, how do Paddy Power bet?
Yeah, we're 11-2 Watford here, Bruce. 31-10 the draw, and United are 8-15.
We'll stick with you for the match verdict, Sean.
Yeah, I think United will probably win the game. They look really, really short at 8-15 away to Watford. I was keen to take on Watford this year. I backed them for relegation at the start of the season. I think I look like I'm pretty wrong there. That second half against West Ham, they're fantastic. Gallo seems to have taken off from the start of last season where he was absolutely blistering. So, I can't be weighing into United here at 8-15. If I'm looking actually to get an angle on maybe Watford plus a goal, 7-5, get the double chance on side. But it's a tough one for me to really find a bet. Ibrahimovic 3-1 first goal. Even that, there's not too much in it. So it's nearly looking like a no bet game for me, which is highly unlikely. I don't usually do it, but looks like I'm sitting on the fence.
Okay, before Mark gives us his verdict, I'll just get my violin out and let you all realise that Watford's comeback against West Ham on Saturday cost me £12,000.
Oh, sick.
Bastards! Go on, Lango.
I quite fancy Watford here on the double chance. I can't understand why United are so short, and they've drifted. They opened up even shorter. Arsenal went to the Vic a couple of weeks ago and were 3-4. You can't tell me that United are that much better than Arsenal. It just doesn't make
they're any better.
Well, no. If you are backing United, you're paying a real big premium for Mourinho, Ibrahimovic, Pogba, etc. They're playing. We don't know the team he's going to pick. He's taken a strong squad to Rotterdam. I don't think the Thursday game can help them against Feyenoord. Watford have scored 7 times this season. They put in a really good first half against Chelsea and a really good second half against Arsenal. And they are still slightly inconsistent, but they nearly got that point against Chelsea. It was only a really late comeback, and I think had they got a second goal against Arsenal, it could have been a very uncomfortable last 20 minutes or so there. So I just think that you just got to let the prices dictate your bet here, and it's opposed Manchester United.
Sean, what price of Watford to avoid defeat?
Yeah, you can get 7-5 double chance. Yeah, I completely agree with that, to be honest.
Sounds decent. Wilco, what do you make of it all?
Oh, well, it's been a tough home start for Watford. Chelsea, Arsenal, and now Man United in their first 3 home games. They've got to be boosted by their second half performance at West Ham on Saturday. As you say, we've talked about United. They've not been any great shakes, hardly boosting Mourinho's standing. In the last 6 Watford home games, both teams have scored, and I'm quite surprised to see that as big as 10-11. So I think that's worth following
for you, Wilco. Okay, jolly good. 2:15, the action continues with Palace versus Stoke. Sean, what are Paddy Power's latest match odds here?
Yeah, Palace have favouritism here, being at home. They're even money. 23-10 the draw, and Stoke are 3-1 outsiders here.
And Sean, what do you think will happen?
Yeah, it's hard to get in 2 and 2s about this game. Sorry, I know you're a Palace fan, but it's just not very exciting. I'm looking at the unders as possibly an angle in here. I could see them both probably maybe happily accepting a draw to get some bit of momentum going. But it's prohibitively priced. It's 8-13 on. Possibly a shout would be no goal scored, 7-1. I think it could just set up very, very tight here. Yeah, I'd be possibly looking at kind of the draw angle here, which is 23-10.
Mark?
Yeah, I've got draw written down. I just don't want to be back in Palace at that kind of price, really, against a team that's pretty similar to them. I know that home advantage dictates that they're going off around about even money. Stoke, for all that they've been terrible this season, and they have played 3 of the current top 5: Man City, Tottenham, Everton. They got a draw away at Middlesbrough. So I'm looking at that as maybe being the way. And I don't fancy Stoke to win the game. I'm hoping after what happened against Tottenham, they'll just sort of dig in and make it difficult for Palace. And I think Palace are better when they can counter-attack teams rather than when teams sit in. So I'll go for a low-scoring draw.
Fair enough. What about you, Wilco?
Well, I'm already fed up with Mark Hughes going on Match of the Day moaning about referees every week. I get the feeling we might not be listening to Mark Hughes on Match of the Day for much longer. Perhaps by Christmas he might be out in the dole queue. your boys, I think, I fancy them. I think they'll win this game. And Benteke already looks a decent signing. I think 9-2, first goal. Get him on your jackpot coupon. I think he'll do the business for you.
I love you, Wilco. I'm not sure that even if Mark Hughes does lose his job, he'll actually form part of a dole queue. But I take your point.
And the Labour exchange.
4:30, Spurs v Sunderland. Spurs back at their old home of the Lane, and presumably, despite the fact that they lost to Monaco, Sean, they're going to be pretty short because Sunderland was so awful on Monday.
Yeah, super short. They're 3's on to win the game. Draw 4-1, and Sunderland are 9-1 shots. I mean, it's just hard to see past them. Sunderland are just so poor.
So how would you try and capitalise on this match then, Sean?
I think there's an angle in here. Kane hasn't exactly fired this season so far. But you can back Heung-min Son in the first goal market there. I think it's a decent price. He's a 5-1 shot to get it. I mean, he's playing just behind. He's playing pretty well. I mean, I liked him in Germany as well. He's a really decent player, and I think he can capitalise possibly on Kane's slight lack of form here and notch the first goal at 5-1.
Okay, I didn't think Spurs were that bad last night. I thought it was a very good game. Enjoyed it. What do you think will happen here, Mark?
Yeah, I think Tottenham will win pretty convincingly. I think the Pochettino going on about the lack of passion could maybe be ringing in the ears of some of those Spurs players. I think that they'll be happy to be back at White Hart Lane. It is a better atmosphere than Wembley. Half-time, full-time, double result, Tottenham. An amazing stat here about Sunderland. 2012 was the last time they won a game in August or September, which is just ridiculous.
That's amazing.
27 matches in the Premier League, time after time, they make these slow starts and really put themselves under pressure. There doesn't look to be an awful lot there, albeit that they've had some injuries early on in the campaign. Hammered at Spurs last year, I think it'll be a case of more of the same.
You were at Wembley, Wilco. Was it a bad atmosphere?
No, I thought it was a great atmosphere. It was really good. Really enjoyed it. The only bit I didn't enjoy was queuing up.
Stop moaning. Bloody hell.
But it was great. It was really good.
It's not like White Hart Lane, the crowd, I think that second half, the crowd would have been sort of, baying for blood and sort of really dragging the team home in the last 20 minutes when it fell a bit flat. That's all I would say.
Did they sing the most boring, annoying song in the world? The slow version of Oh When the Saints?
Just the once.
I hate that. I really can't.
It was quite interesting listening
song.
to people moaning at Lamella and Eriksson, having watched 2 seasons at Charlton.
Yeah. Sorry, Wilco, did we get your verdict?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
I'm going to... I think
see you next week. No, go on.
Spurs did play very... Spurs, as you say, I thought they played all right yesterday, but they're looking a bit tired, a bit jaded. I'm going to swim a little bit against the tide, not as far as to suggest that Sunderland can get anything, but they've scored 2 goals in their 2 home games. Danny Rose and Wanyama have scored the goals. They're not looking that particularly sharp up front, so under 2.5 goals, 11-10, I can see Spurs winning 1 or 2-0.
Righty-ho, thank you, chaps. Thanks for your expertise. Thank you for watching. Do please join us next Thursday for the Racing Post Football Postcast, when we will be previewing yet another great weekend that includes on the fixture list Man United v Leicester and also Arsenal v Chelsea. So join us for that.